Hi there, and welcome to Graham's Guide Friday Live this Friday, the 20th of November. Last night, many of us met for the Collaborate session, looking at Assignment 2. And for those of you who were not able to attend last night's session, the recording is now available. Simply go to our group's Collaborate discussion forum, and you'll find a direct link there to the recording. It was a great night had by all. And it's always great to interact and have some backward and forth synchronous discussion, where most of our time in the discussion boards is what we call asynchronous, where one person types, one person answers a question, and then 24, 48 hours later we get an answer back. Where in the Collaborate session, it's synchronous. It's just a good time. But I also enjoy making these videos in response to your questions that I receive during the week, because I can receive questions in the discussion boards and provide an answer where everybody benefits from your questions and the answers and discussions that follow. So let's go straight across to answering some of those questions now. Today I'm going to look at how asking the questions, how will credible sources help you? I want to first go into, before I get onto that, I just want to quickly go into our unit, because Gemma, one of our students, pointed out a really useful resource, Module 1.4. And if you go to Module 1.4, you'll see that there's two columns here. The column on the left mentions the assessment or the assignment, and the column on the right points out what week's learning materials will help you answer the questions for that assignment. So you'll see there question 2, assignment 2, weeks 3 and 4. The learning materials in weeks 3 and 4 will help you answer the questions posed in assignment 2. And the same with those others there. Also, at the bottom of this page, there is a link to these resources for professional practice. So last night we talked a bit about professional practice, and we touched on the terminology professional framework. And I'll just quickly, I'll go to that later, but keep that in mind, professional framework. We're going to have a chat about that very shortly. But first, let's go to the assignments, because that's what we're all interested in, particularly assignment 2. So in assignment 2, question 1 and question 2 are very similar. We discussed the differences last night, so you must watch the Collaborate session and also watch Tanya's videos. If you go to Tanya's announcements, you'll find the videos there that Tanya has put about assignment 2. So just quickly here, I'm going to be going over with you how you can research to find examples to help you create a persuasive argument. So question 1 is, why is it important for me as a tertiary learner to use credible sources in my academic research and writing? And we've got to find an example within, well, I'm going to use my field of study as an example. I'm going to find an example of a credible source that would help me with my studies. And then question 2, why is it or will it be important to me in my career to use credible sources to help shape professional practice? And I'm also going to show you how to find a credible source that you can use as an example when you're answering this question to demonstrate how credible sources help you. And that's what you need to be doing. We'll also look at how to conduct wider research for question 3 as well. But let's go now into the Swinburne Library. And what's the easiest way of getting there? Let's click on this link here. Oh no, I've got it up here as a tab. Great, that makes it easy. All right, so my field of study, I put it over here as themed environments, themed entertainment, and that came about because I did art history, then I did screen studies, and then I did theme park theory, and I finally did my thesis on it was titled An Archaeology of a Dark Ride. So my area of research is themed entertainment, and so I'm just going to try searching on, I haven't searched on themed entertainment for years, so I'm sure everything has been updated. Let's have a quick look. Themed entertainment. Now you can just put in what your field of study is, whether it's education or early childhood education or psychology, or it might be what is it when you're doing the terrorism there's terror studies. I can't think of what the title of that is right now, but the people who are studying international terrorism or border control will know what I'm talking about. So you can just do a search on your field of study here in the Swinburne Library. But once you're in here, I want you to refine your results. And I'm going to click here on peer-reviewed sources. We've talked about peer-reviewed sources before. They're very high-quality resources that are used for academic research. I also want sources that are available online, so I'm going to tick that. And I'm going to, down here, click articles, because presumably these will be articles within journals, so journal articles. And then I'm just going to go down to the bottom and click apply filters to get my results. So these are the results from that search, and I can just choose any of these. I would go into them and have a look and see if they're relevant, if they're useful or not. And then once I find one, I'm only going to use this as an example in my response to question 1. So I just want an example of a journal article in my field. So we'll just go with this one here by Photiadis. And if I click on that, this gives me more information about the article. It says here that I can access the article online, and these links that have just come up here, ProQuest, that's a link to where I can access this article. So let's go to the article. Oh, just before I go, if you go down, look down here at topic, you can see what topics are covered by this article and see that if it's in the ballpark of what you're interested in. I can see theme parks are discussed, and visitors and architecture. There's all sorts of things here that are of interest to me, so I'm on the right track. So let's go to the article here at ProQuest Central. And what I would do is I would then I would scan through this article here that I've got the full text of. I would see what's relevant to me. I can see, oh yeah, look, there's enough. This is relevant enough for me to use as an example to answer this. Answer question 1 of assignment 2. This is a credible source. It's peer reviewed, and I know this will help me in my academic studies because because it is peer reviewed. And if I go down to the bottom here of this article, you'll see that they include, going all the way down, they include, all the way, they haven't included it. They usually include their citations, their reference list. Now, it will be somewhere, probably if I click on PDF, it will extract the full article and all of their citations. Let me just try that. Open a new tab. I just want you to see that I'm not telling fibs here. Okay, here's the article. I'm going to go to the last pages of the article. And where are their sources? Here they are. See, I told you. Sorry about that. These are all of the sources. So not only have I found a good article, but I can also go here. I can see who they're citing and referencing, and there might be something here that's also equally useful to me. All right, so that's that. Let's go back to the ProQuest page. The reason why I want to show you this ProQuest page is because you'll see up here in the top right-hand corner some little buttons. This one here called Cite will help you with your citing and referencing of this article. So you've decided you're going to use this article. Click on this Cite button here, and you'll see here that this shows you the citation. It's showing you in APA 7th style, but if you click on the little down arrow here, it will also show it to you in Harvard style. And while this isn't Swinburne Harvard, I would just copy and paste that into my notes and then go into the Swinburne Library and check how I need to make some small alterations to this for it to be fully formatted for Swinburne Harvard. And this is the reference that you would put at the end of your document in your reference list. So now we've found an article that's in our field of study that we can use as an example in our answer to question 1 of why is it important to use credible sources. Well, from going through weeks 3 and 4, you'll know that using peer-reviewed sources are the best type of resource because it's written by experts to help you with your study, and you've got the confidence of knowing that you're standing on the shoulders of those who came before you and have done this amazing work that is peer reviewed, and you can be confident that using this is a credible source. And you can make your further arguments to that as well. I don't want to give away all the reasons why it's important to use credible sources. That's an argument for you to make. All right, let's go on to, this is becoming a long video, isn't it? 10 minutes. Okay, let's keep moving forward quickly. Looking for resources to question 2. So you want to find an example of a professional document, like a code of practice or similar. Let me get rid of this, and that's the library. Here's Google. Let's do a Google search for, we know we're talking about professional frameworks, professional framework documents. So let's go professional framework teaching Australia. Okay, so what do we get here? Just going to go down here and look. Australian Teacher Performance and Development Framework. Oh, here we go. Australian Professional Standards for Teachers. That sounds ideal. But I did have a student during the week who noticed that in Module 1.4 it provided the standards for teachers in Victoria, which I'll just go and have a quick look now. We'll just change that to Victoria. Here we go, Australian Professional Standards for Teachers in Victoria. So that's a code of ethics or a code of conduct that helps you with your professional practice in your field of teaching. So this is another example of a great source that you can use to show an example of a credible source that helps you with professional practice. And you could change this to Queensland, probably, and find that you might be able to find the professional experience reporting. I can't immediately see. Professional Standards, Queensland College of Teachers. There you go. There's another document. So there are plenty. This is an easy way of finding documents that support a professional framework. And if your field of study is psychology, we'll just change this to psychology. It says Queensland, but they probably do have it for Queensland. Allied Health Clinical Governance Framework. That's not really accreditation standards for psychology. That's not really it either. Let's just go Australia. Accreditation standards, psychology board, framework for effective delivery, psychology and education training. I know there's a psychology one on that page from module 1.4, but I just thought I'd do a quick, I don't want to spend time on looking for this. I know there are codes of ethics. If I did a code of ethics here, code of ethics, psychology Australia, there we go. It's the very top result. APS Code of Ethics, Australian Psychology Society. So yeah, this is a way you can find documents, credible sources that will support your professional practice. And how will they support you? Well, you know that this is written by experts in your field, and you can be comfortable and conscious that you are operating within the guidelines set by your colleagues and peers in your field of in your career. So there's all sorts of reasons why it's really useful to use credible sources to support your professional practice. And again, I will let you come up with other argument for that if you want to. But now you know how to find an example of a credible source in to support your studies. You've now got a source here that will support your professional practice in your field of endeavor. Now let's have a look at question 3, where you want to find a couple of sources on a topic that's within your field of interest. So I'm going to go back to themed environments. And so let me look up museums. So just say I want to pick a topic within my field. So my field's themed entertainment, but I want to drill down a little bit. So I'm not. Let's go away from theme parks. Let's look at museums, because museums are also themed these days. So if I type in themed museums and search, I could also do themed museums North America, themed museums Australia. There are a whole bunch of results coming up here. This is going to be my more credible source, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the I'm going to refine this to peer-reviewed online articles, and now I'm going to use this date field because I want something recent. So I'm going to say from 2010, and then apply filters, and themed museums. Look, I've got some good results coming up there. Presence and absence in themed heritage. That looks good. The top one looked good as well. Validating novelty-driven. Yeah, that looks good. So any of these sources would be, you're only looking for a source. You're not going to explain. You're not going to talk about the topic. You just want to find a credible source on your topic. If I click on Access Online, I can see here in the topics that museum satisfaction, novelty seeking, serious literature. This is all stuff that I'm interested in, and then I could click through to access the actual document. We're going to EBSCOhost here. Ooh, where's this gone? It says no results found. Let's get out of there. What's this other one here? Caulfield, Taylor and Francis Journals, the top one. And yeah, so this is the full journal article here, and there'll be enough information here for me to create my citation and reference, which I'll need, because you need to cite and reference all of your sources in assignment 2. Okay, so that was this is my more credible source. Let's have a quick look now at a less credible source. In YouTube, because this is kind of an easy thing to do. In YouTube, I'm going to go themed museums, but because I'm going to get all sorts of crazy results here, I'm going to say I'm looking for expert information. So themed museums experts, and let's see what we get here. I'm looking at who owns the channel. Google on Arts and Culture, that could be good. Let me have a quick look down here. CNN. Something. Oh, here's a TED Talk. How will museums of the future look? That sounds interesting, and it's a TED Talk, so this could be good. So yeah, I might click through to this. Yes, thank you for this advertisement. So then once I'm here, I can then go down and see. I can see this is by Professor Sarah Kenderdine. So this is a good resource. This is not going to be peer reviewed, but it is a good resource. So this would make a very good second source for my response to question 3. So I know I've nearly gone for 20 minutes there, probably way too long. But I hope that's given you some research ideas. Oh, there was one more thing I was going to show you. Here's a whole bunch of different topics in different areas. I'm just going to page through these because I know you can pause this recording. These are just to give you some... Oh, you can't see them. There we go. These are just some inspiration for topics within your field. And don't worry, I haven't looked up specific things that are studying at Swinburne Online. I just copied and pasted this whole list off the internet, but it's just for inspiration on topics. So that's one lot, and it's not going to the next one. Let me go page down. So here are some more topics in health research and in media and communications. So my area of research is themed entertainment. So I looked for a topic within themed entertainment that was themed museums. So these are just some ideas to inspire you of the sort of topics that you might want to look for to find two sources on. So you might, if you're doing terrorism research, you might look for two sources on border terrorism. If you're doing psychology, you might look for two credible sources on learning disabilities. And the same for any of these topics. So you can this might inspire you, or you already might have your own topic that you're interested in finding two sources on. But I hope this has been helpful to you. And if you have any questions at all, please ask them in the assignment to discussion forum, and we'll be seeing you in the discussion. So thanks very much for your patience of working through this 20-minute video with me. And from me to you, it's bye for now.